Trimble Connect is an information sharing and collaboration service for construction projects. You can easily use Trimble Connect to organize, view, and store your project deliverables on the cloud. This can include drawings, documents, photos, and 3D models. This gives you instant access to your project information anywhere, anytime. You can also invite and share information with your customers or other project stakeholders. To get started, let's visit connect.trimble.com and sign up for a free account. You can create your first project to see how Trimble Connect works, then purchase an annual subscription when ready to use on the rest of your projects. Once signed up, you can come back to connect.trimble.com and log in. Trimble Connect is a web interface, so no additional software needs to be installed to start working. When you log in, you'll see a preview of all of your projects or the projects that you've been invited to by other project stakeholders. You can create new projects. You can also set the location where that project is hosted. And then also, if you open up an existing project, you can come in here and you can review the settings and details. This particular group of settings allows you to control the email notifications for different activities on the project. You can then also go to details and we can change the project name as well as leave or delete the project. To enter a project, simply click the icon. The project is then organized into data for files and folders, an activity feed log, the to-do list of action items and things that need to be carried out on the project, as well as the team members that are invited to the current project. You can invite new users to the project by entering their email address, and you can even choose to add them to an existing or create a new group. You can then set whether they are just a user or if they have administrator rights to set permissions and create folders on the project. On the Data tab, we can navigate existing folders which appear to be organized by trade. We can also create a new folder. This folder now appears in the list and we can select it. Then we can go to the More menu and we can control folder permissions. You can set a full global access for this folder, or you can target specific users and groups and grant them different access rights. You can then open up that folder by clicking it, and then we can go ahead and upload files. We'll then browse on our computer. We'll select some drawings, select an image or a photo, as well as a 3D building information model. Files can also be uploaded and synchronized with your desktop using the Sync tool. Here within the desktop sync, you can set your preferences for exclusions of certain file types, as well as notifications for synchronization. You can then go to the advanced options here to set up scheduled synchronizations and which folders that you're synchronizing files from. Synchronization can set to be manual, hourly, daily, or weekly. Let's go ahead and take a look at a PDF drawing. You can select the document and press the view icon, or just click on the name. The document will then be opened. You can then navigate and review this particular drawing. We can also see comments or add comments that are related to this document. You can also see a full revision history of all of the different versions and revisions of this particular document. You can also download those old versions if required. You can also link documents to to-do action items in case something needs to be carried out or revised with this particular drawing. One other major feature with documents and files is the ability to check in and check out the file. By checking out the file, you're locking the file and prevent other users from overwriting or uploading new versions. Let's go ahead and go back to the Data tab, and let's talk about releases. Releases are for submittals or transmittals of files and information between project stakeholders. The current version of a revision of a file is maintained once a release has been sent. Automated email notifications are sent to all project stakeholders that are associated to the release. You can also see what releases have been received. Here, let's go ahead and go to the Open Releases, and we can see that there's a city submittal. Here I can see all of the files that are currently associated to this release. We can also then see any sent and received releases. Let's go back to our data by switching back to the Explorer view. We can then go ahead and select this drawing, and if we go to the drop down here of different actions, we can go ahead and say Add Files to Release. We'll go ahead and select the city submittal. If we then go back to Releases and go back to City Submittal, we will see that that envelope set PDF has now been added. If we go over here to the right, we can set the recipients that are on this particular release. We can go ahead and accept that, and then we can also set notes here if needed, and then once we're ready, we can send this release. The release would then appear in the sent group. Now let's go ahead and go back to the Explorer view, and we'll start reviewing some 3D building information models. Alright, so let's go to the Architecture folder. We'll load up the Architect's SketchUp model. Then we'll go to the Heavy Civil. We'll load up the Landscape model, go to Structure, and load up the Tekla Structures model. We'll then go ahead and press the View button, and all three of these models will be overlaid at the same time here on the web. We can then easily navigate through the model. We can zoom by scrolling in and out. We can then change our navigation options. And just hold down the left mouse button to rotate around. We can also select items in the model and then zoom to those. When we select on an item, we'll see that the properties are available for that particular item. We can also generate reports and export that information to Excel if we would want. We can also select objects in the model and then hide them. We can also turn on and off objects based on their different category or name. We can also reset the view if we'd like to go back to home. We can also set the visibility on the entire project. So here I've turned off the architectural, and then I can easily see the structural model. We can also clip through the building. I then just hover over a surface, it creates that clipping plane, and then I can just drag that with the mouse to review different sections or stories of the building. So here you can see that I found a discrepancy between the structural element as well as this opening. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and first measure this, and that way I can get a feel for kind of what the dimensions are and what should be accurately set here. Then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add a cloud so that way I can create a comment. I can then just stretch the cloud and resize it. You can also control the colors of your annotations here. We could also come in here and put text labels as well as lines or arrows to further clarify our comment. Now that we have our annotations created, we can go ahead and create a to-do item. Here we'll just put a note. We can then go to more options and set the priority as well as a due date. And then we can even assign this to somebody. We'll then go ahead and submit that, and then we'll go to our to-do list. Our comment now appears here at the top of the list, and also the activity of what we've been doing will also appear here in the activity log. We can also use the filters over here on the left to filter our comments or any to-dos that are assigned to us, created by us, by their priority, as well as any date range. To view the details of this to-do, we'll select it. We can then see the image that's associated with it, and we can also click on this to see this in the view or in the model. The comment here in the model and the to-do can actually be shared with the BIM collaboration format or BCF format. We simply just select on any of the to-do items or comments that we'd like to share, and then we can go to the More drop-down and say Export to BCF. These comments are then able to be imported and viewed in other BIM applications. You can also import comments from other applications by going to the Data folder and then uploading BCF files. If you have any additional questions, or when you're ready to subscribe to Trimble Connect, you can go to connect.trimble.com, press the contact button, and we'll be happy to get back with you.